What is going on, folk? It's NimbleThor here, and welcome back to my mobile gaming quest where I cover a new mobile game every single day here on YouTube, and I share that experience with you guys. And today, we are going to play Special Forces Group 2, which is a multiplayer shooter game, a bit like Counter-Strike. And I was actually looking through old games that I have had installed on my phone for quite some time, but for some reason I've just never gotten around to play, and this game was one of them. So I was just about to uninstall this game, but then I realized as I was looking through my YouTube channel and looking through the shooter games playlist that I actually hadn't covered a CSGO-like shooter in a very, very long time. We've been playing so many Battle Royale games, so many small casual shooters, that I don't think I've covered a game like this in about 6 months, maybe even more. So I figured that we would cover it here today because the game is actually still decently popular, and so some of you guys might actually end up quite enjoying this game. Of course, it's far from as polished as other more modern shooters, like for example Modern Combat Versus, but it does have a lot of content, and I mean, it does copy Counter-Strike pretty well, so it's not a bad game, it's just not as polished. But of course that also means that it can play on any potato of a phone. We've got graphic settings that allows us to really turn the settings down. This is actually me playing on the highest graphic settings, I believe. And so, yeah, as you can probably guess, this should be able to run on pretty much anything. But right off the bat, oh, we're getting shot. Let's take out this guy. Oh, we got him. Nice. So now we have some more gold, some more cash, that once we die as well, we can spend that on buying a better gun. So obviously, just like in Counter-Strike, you start out with nearly no money, and then as you kill other players, you earn more, or as you complete the objectives, whatever the objective is in the game you're playing right now. There are many different game modes, but this game mode here is really just a team deathmatch, so we just have to take out the entire opponent team, and it looks like there are 3 players left on the opponent team. You guys can see that in the top middle, where it says 3 out of 5, so I think either 3 out of 5 has died, or the 3 out of 5 left. I think it's 3 out of 5 left. Don't know what I did here. What is this slow motion? What did I do? What did I do? What is this? Guys, oh, okay. Oh, we won. There we go. Counter-terrorists win, and we got the first spot. That's pretty cool. So now we can go in and buy a new gun. We have 3,200, which is not enough for my lovely M4A4, but it is enough for the AK-47, which is probably the most well-known machine gun rifle ever, right? I mean, this is, this is literally Counter-Strike, right? The AK-47, I think nothing reminds me more of Counter-Strike than this rifle here. So there are 2 things about this game that just immediately struck me as something really, really positive, and one of them is that it has both local area network multiplayer and actual online multiplayer. And with the actual online multiplayer, the server filters allow us to filter for Russian servers, EU servers, and even US and Asian servers. So you can switch around, you can play on any server you want to, but you have the option, of course, of filtering the different servers, because anyone can launch a server, so you can probably imagine how it can become a pretty big mess very, very quickly if we didn't have those filters. And the other thing I like is actually the controls, because they work decently well. So if you look at it, we have an aiming button both on the left and right side. We can simply tap those to aim down the sight, and then we also have trigger buttons both on the left and on the right side. That makes it really easy to control, and the UI is somewhat cluttered, but I haven't really accidentally clicked on anything so far, and we can change all of it from the settings. If we go in here to the settings and over to the controls, you guys can see that we have sensitivity options, we have fire buttons on left and right side, we have settings buttons, and if we go in here to the gameplay, we can scroll down a bit, and we can disable or enable aim, automatic fire, and auto zoom. By default, you have both auto zoom and auto aim on, and I know that some of you guys will not like that for sure, so just go into the settings and disable it to have more control. But for a new player, this is pretty nice because it allows us to get into the game very early on. Now, we're playing single player right now, but if we go into multiplayer, obviously people are gonna be much, much better. And I've somewhat turned down the difficulty of these bots here that we're playing against. You guys can see that we only have 10 bots, and their difficulty is 19, whereas 1 would be expert and 30 being easiest. So we're definitely playing against somewhat easy bots, and I think that's what we're seeing here as well. Is that the opponent? No, that's not the opponent. Where's the opponent then? There's only 1 guy left, so it can probably take some time before we find him. And also, I know very little about these maps, but there are lots of maps. Oh, and we won. There we go. So I think now it's time to go out into the menu and show you guys the multiplayer aspect of the game. In terms of monetization, by the way, we have advertisements that we're shown in between levels, and then through a single in-app purchase, we can remove all of those advertisements for good, or we can buy more skins, which is actually a pretty nice way of monetizing. But then we also have the option to pay real-life money to have more cash to begin with of every single level. Let's just join this one here, this room. And that, of course, is a bit more unfair because it allows a player who've bought that for, I think it's around $9 US, allows that person to have more cash and thus buy a better weapon to begin with. Whereas we as a free user have to first go out and kill someone, then we get some cash, and then we can spend that on buying better guns. So yes, that is actually quite unfair, and I wish they didn't have that system, but I will say that they have to monetize somehow, and for some reason they realized that they couldn't monetize purely through cosmetics, and in that case I actually find this a pretty alright way to monetize, because it equals out very, very shortly after joining a server, because after we've gotten a few kills, we will have enough gold or enough of this in-game currency to actually, buy the same weapons as a person, and that's an opponent over there, but to buy the same weapons as someone who has bought that in our purchase. Let's take out this guy, he's hiding over here. Oh, wait, we didn't get him though. Is that, there's a guy there. There's a guy right there. No, and we were killed, guys. I think there was 2 versus 1, right? I think it was 2 versus 1. That was so close, though. And I mean, that was with only the handgun. So now when we respawn, we have more gold, which we can use on buying a rifle instead. What do you think about this game, guys? I'm really curious to hear what you think in the comment section down below. Do you like it? Don't you like it? Have you been looking for a Counter-Strike game on mobile? Because in that case, I find this one to be pretty good, actually. It reminds me a bit of Standoff 2, if you guys remember me playing that game a very, very long time. But to be honest, I think only those of you who followed me for a very long time will remember that video. So now for the mobile gaming fact of the day, which is that Supercell's Brawl Stars has reached 5 million pre-registrations in just 24 hours. That is just insane. The game is going to be globally released in December of 2018 for both Android and iOS at the same time, and as you guys know, I have already played the game. I really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend you guys to go pre-register. You're gonna get a free skin, so why not do that as long as you download it before the end of December 2018. And with that said, thank you so much for sticking around till the end of this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and until next time, just keep gaming, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys around.